Hi, this is Mark. This is a video following up on a webinar that I did sharing research that I have been gathering since November of last year regarding how high-end financial advisors are utilizing AI. I was very much an AI skeptic. Was recommended to start looking at AI because one of my business coaches and very good friend of mine said, Mark, you need to look into AI. You need to see how, really successful financial advisors who are often number one in their market are utilizing AI. So I did. Those are the advisors that we work with anyway. It turned out I was amazed at how it's being utilized. But one of the things that I shared in the webinar as I'm releasing this research is that the action item at the end of the webinar for financial advisors that are trying to figure out how AI fits in, or if you're more like I was, being more of a skeptic, thinking that AI just couldn't help you with what you're doing because what you're doing in your practice is so different and unusual that AI couldn't help you, which is, again, how I thought about it. But the call to action that I gave at the end of the webinar was a little bit surprising to some advisors. It was sitting down and conducting free thought time. You heard it right. So what I recommended is if you're going to start utilizing AI in an effective way, then the best way to do it is to, first of all, suspend reality. And when you're communicating with the AI, pretend it's a person. I know it's not, but you get the best results if you think of the AI as a wicked smart research assistant that has a photographic memory and has access to the world's knowledge base. This is an assistant that's literally read every book that's ever been written, from Aristotle to today's Wall Street Journal, but they are green. They're inexperienced. They don't really understand how we think about what we want for clients, and they often hallucinate. So this is the big thing, this hallucination. A lot of companies that have done reviews on the various AI platforms, they use this term hallucination. I just refer to it as bad advice. So how does free thought time tie into this? What it ends up being is, I want you to think of it this way. What if when you give an assignment to your research assistant to help you think through a problem or to brainstorm a solution or to work through an opportunity that you're thinking about, and you get something back that is both unexpected and not helpful? What the free thought time helps fix is often that you're not asking the right question. So every time I've encountered what the reviewers would call a hallucination by AI, it's almost always been that I didn't ask the question in the right way. So the thing about AI that you need to know is it will always give you an answer. You pose a question or you start asking it for information about something, and it will always give you an answer, always. But what it will never do is tell you that you asked the wrong question. And this is where free thought time comes in. So what I recommend is that, first of all, when you're just getting into AI, stick with topics that you've already mastered, so that when it provides you with an answer that is incorrect, inaccurate, or just completely off the wall, you'll notice it right away. So stick with topics that you've already mastered, and then spend free thought time exploring how you're going to take your knowledge or mastery of that thing that you know so well to the next level. I recommend sitting down every day, quietly, turn off all electronic devices. You're just sitting there alone in front of a blank piece of paper and a pen, and just think about one thing. It's a discipline. So I recommend start with 1 minute. Can you think about one thing for 1 minute? I talked to one guy who, when he first started doing this, he didn't know what to think about. So he started just thinking about his breathing. So he's looking at the sheet of paper and he's just focusing on the breath coming in and out of his nose. He realized that there's so much going on in our lives that these thoughts would come into his mind. He's thinking, I can't even think about nothing for even 1 minute. So I recommend start with 1 minute And don't push out these thoughts that come in intruding. Let them hang out there. Let them just be there, but focus on one thing. And it could be your breathing, it could be anything. Just clear your mind as much as you can. Let the other thoughts just hang out there. Then add a minute every day. So at the end of 7 days, you're now spending free thought time just staring at a piece of paper with a pen for 7 minutes. A week after that, it's 14 minutes. And then build it up until it's not enjoyable. What you'll find, and what most advisors find, is that you will start dealing with that one issue, some subject matter that you're already extraordinarily well familiar with. What you'll start thinking about is what you don't know about that. Because in any topic, there's something you don't know. When you've spent your free thought time, then go to AI and start asking different questions. Start asking better questions. You're trying to catch it giving you a really poor response so that you can ask the question in 5, 6 different ways and get the AI to dial in on exactly what you're wanting. When you get to the point where you've mastered this idea of asking better questions, the AI gives surprising, really stunning results. I've been doing this 40 years, and what I've been using AI for is mainly to help me understand my clients better. So I'm still a financial advisor. What I've learned to do over 40 years is ask better questions. I've had clients compliment me over the years, Mark, you just ask better questions, deeper questions that matter about financial affairs and about life in general as it relates to money and planning. So that's how I've been using AI. I have learned, even though I've just gotten into it since November, I've taken my skill level at asking good questions, better questions to clients to an even higher level. The AI, in forcing me to ask questions in a way that I get a better response from the AI, it helps me understand how clumsy English language is, how our language is actually a limitation, how words mean different things to different people. Put yourself in the AI's shoes. What if you'd read every book that's ever been written, then somebody's asking you a question? It's not that the AI is particularly confused, other than these words mean different things. They're interpreted differently. They could apply to maybe 1 million different things. The AI has to make a decision on how to serve up a response that it thinks you want. But the better you get at understanding how you think, why you think the way you think, you can not only learn to communicate better with the AI, you can learn, as I've learned, that I'm becoming even better at asking questions to other people. In the end, what are we all trying to do with AI? We're trying to use AI to be better financial advisors, to deliver a higher quantity, higher quality of advice to our clients, or at least that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to help advisors do. Take it from me. If you want my advice, if you're going to get into AI and start using it at the deep level that I'm using it, what I've discovered, the #1 advisors out there that are using AI effectively to be, I call it the only game in town, but to make them #1, they're using AI in this way. By sitting down, investing free time every day as a discipline. Currently, I do free time almost 2 hours a day. I do an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon. But a lot of advisors I've gotten into doing this are just doing it maybe 20 minutes a day. Some are doing it 5 or 10 minutes a day. Start with a minute, build up a minute every day, then slow it down when it stops being enjoyable. And when you start having genius breakthroughs in your own free thought time, that then you cannot wait to get in front of the AI, to have the AI help you flesh it out and take it to another level, then you know you're there. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next video.